Should you use a mortgage broker? A question which often gets asked: what is a mortgage broker and what value do they bring? Watch this video to find out. Hi, if we haven't met before, my name's Dan and I'm a CeMAP qualified mortgage and protection advisor. This video is purely for educational purposes only and should not be seen as advice or a recommendation to act. And I must stress your home may be repossessed if you do not keep up with the repayments on the mortgage. So whether you're buying a property or just remortgaging, getting professional mortgage advice can be a great help, but often it comes at a cost. Taking independent advice can make the difference between a successful mortgage application and being rejected. It could also result in making significant savings. But what is a mortgage broker or a mortgage advisor? A mortgage advisor is a professional who is qualified in finding the most suitable mortgage deal for your circumstances. Often a mortgage advisor will be called a mortgage broker, but there is no real difference between an advisor and a broker. The only significant difference you need to consider is between a whole of market mortgage advisor and a tied mortgage advisor. A whole of market mortgage advisor, like myself, can source mortgages from the whole UK market, while a tied one will be restricted to certain providers, so can only provide limited advice. A mortgage advisor is usually a dedicated mortgage specialist, though some independent financial advisors also give the same kind of mortgage advice. So when should you seek mortgage advice? If you're a first-time buyer, then you are usually more likely to benefit from having a mortgage advisor guiding you through the process. For a couple of reasons really. The mortgage process can be daunting to you as it's your first time obtaining a mortgage. And as the application tends to be more challenging, it's useful to have an expert holding your hand through the process. However, they can be useful for any kind of mortgage application. You may also need advice including remortgaging, moving home, buying an investment property to rent out, or a holiday home. So what are the benefits of using a mortgage advisor? A whole of market mortgage advisor is not restricted to any particular list of providers and will act solely in your best interests. You can therefore be confident that the deal they recommend will be the best available mortgage for your circumstances. A mortgage advisor should also explain about the different types of deals and rates available, advise you on how much you can afford to borrow, have access to mortgage deals that are not available on the open market, prepare your mortgage application correctly to help your chances of being successful, and do their best to save you money overall by finding a mortgage with lower interest rates and fees. Also, most mortgage advisors are protection advisors as well. They will be able to recommend the appropriate insurances suitable for your needs. I created a video here that shares the story of a fellow mortgage advisor and his journey. It's worth watching and a reason why you should be willing to listen to any recommendations made by your advisor. How do you find a mortgage advisor? Hello, you found one. All jokes aside, if you don't want to use me, speak to family and friends first. They may have their own advisor who they've used and trusted for years, so they can recommend them. You could look on Google, but make sure you read the reviews. There are some very good mortgage brokers out there, but there can also be some very bad ones. So please make sure you do your research thoroughly before asking for help on potentially your biggest financial commitment ever. If you're moving, the estate agents will often have their own in-house advisor they recommend. Again, I recommend reading reviews. What does it cost to use a mortgage broker? Mortgage brokers charge in a variety of different ways. Some mortgage brokers will charge an upfront flat fee, while others will take commission from the bank or lender providing the loan. So be sure to discuss the fees at your first meeting with the broker and ask how much they are paid, what it will cost you, and get a written quote. Remember that using a mortgage broker should mean that you spend less money over the long term, so have the advisor explain to you how their fee is justified. To save you ringing and asking me, I charge on completion of the mortgage. I charge a fee on completion as I feel it's justified for the time and care that I put into your application. The first appointment with your mortgage advisor. Before your first appointment with the mortgage advisor, you'll want to be prepared to answer any questions they'll ask, along with any documentation they'll require. The majority of questions you'll know the answers to already, such as your date of birth, your address, and how long you lived there. But some can be a little bit more challenging and you want to be prepared. If you're meeting face to face with your advisor, make sure you have to hand your last 3 months payslips, or 6 months if you're receiving bonus, overtime or commission. You'll want to also take along 3 months bank statements and photographic ID. Another question you'll be asked is, what is your credit profile like? Do you have any missed payments, county court judgments or defaults. The best way to check this is to carry out a credit report on yourself. I've created a video on this here, and I've left the link in the description below. At your first meeting, ask your advisor whether they can source direct deals, as these may offer special rates or discounts. If your advisor recommends a particular mortgage to you, ask them to explain in detail why this deal is the most suitable for you. Just because we are the experts, it doesn't mean you aren't allowed to understand why the mortgage is the most suitable to you. It is common practice now for all advisors to explain this, but don't be afraid to ask up front. A good mortgage advisor may also offer useful tips and guidance throughout the home buying process, so be sure to find an advisor that will help you with this. This is a topic I feel very strongly and passionate about, and I'm conscious that I could just waffle on for hours. If you found this video helpful and you wish to buy me a coffee, I've put a link in the description below. But even more importantly, if you need my help, please contact me. To avoid making the 10 most common mistakes when buying a home, watch this video. Remember, your home may be repossessed if you do not keep up with the repayments on your mortgage. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.